clearly believes we're going to have at very least a big epidemic, and it could be worse. It could be a pandemic.
Yep. I had a very special visitor to my dressing room this morning.
Hands. The London mayor said yesterday he stopped shaking people's hands because he deemed it presumably a personal risk. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, proudly boasted of going to a hospital full of coronavirus patients and shaking everybody's hand. There seems to me conflicting messages from two important people at a time of national health crisis. What is the Chief Medical Officer's advice about shaking hands? Claims to have got on top of this now and are seeing a reduction in the number of people infected with coronavirus. They've done it by being extremely draconian, albeit a little late in the game, you might argue, in terms of when they took the action, but they shut down whole cities with millions of people. There is a feeling both in America and here, to give two examples, that the leaders are waiting to see what may happen, and some people think we should be getting in first. Explain why we shouldn't be doing what China did.
Yes, sir.
Voice of calm and reason, isn't he?
Isn't he?
You actually want your chief medical to be like that.
Absolutely.
Quite dull, but just cold, hard detail.
But we are facing the likelihood.
Perilous, though, isn't it? Because you've got the chief medical officer, he pretty much said we should be expecting an epidemic to come here. What we don't know is what strain that will put on the already very strained NHS resources.
Well, to people that they do take preparations themselves. I mean, if this does get very serious, we've seen a lot of panic buying, the attitude towards that. But is it sensible for people to just be prepared at home? I mean, for instance, if we know there's going to be a massive strain on the NHS, perhaps you might not be able to get to hospital. Is it worth stocking up on medicines, or does that put medicines at risk for others?
It feels like the calm before the storm. Very quickly,
It is going to continue as well, because we're talking to a panel of experts next, addressing your questions. Thanks all very much indeed. You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV.
A fifth of people off work sick, the army on standby, schools closed and police ignoring low-level crime. Every aspect of our lives will be affected if the coronavirus takes a real grip.
There is plenty of advice, but there's also a lot of confusion. So we have a panel of experts here to talk through some of your concerns. Joining us, our health.
But Panna, we're going to almost certainly get you guys back, because this is going to get worse before it gets better. So thank you for coming and appreciate it.
You're watching Good Morning Britain.
And keep the questions coming. If you've got concerns about coronavirus, we're going to try and get them all answered. We're all talking about it. We're all wondering what is the answer to these. He went to Buckingham Palace and he got his MBE from the Queen. And just incredible job he's done. And as he says, he's just so pleased that he got back and so many of his friends didn't. And that's all he cares about. He just wanted to take care of the memory of those who sacrificed their lives for us. So thank you, Harry.
Congratulations and thank you. Competition time just after 8 o'clock. Your chance to win £90,000. A brand new Audi. Here's Andy.
Well, good morning, Britain. It's just gone 8 o'clock. Lots more still to come in the next hour. But first, Ranvir has the latest headlines.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Ministers are launching a new public health campaign.
Thank you
That
very
should be in our
much indeed.
headlines. You've been nominated as Best Presenter
Well
at the
done.
Trick Awards.
Well done.
Were you on the list, Piers?
Don't think so, no.
Will you vote? Will we all vote for you? Can we all vote for you? That's the thing.
I don't know who votes. It's in the Trick Awards.
It's the
Susanna-
Trick
Absolutely
Awards.
lovely to be
Yeah.
nominated.
You tend to hoover up those ones, the ones I haven't heard of.
We've all heard of the Trick Awards, and we wish you well.
Thank you very much indeed.
And
And
the
we're all
programme.
nominated
Yes.
for the Royal Television Society daytime programme.
We
of the
certainly
year.
are.
And we're all nominated for daytime programme in the Trick Awards, Piers. So you'll be there at the event in any case.
Will I?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. That's
What is it?
not very teamy or
TV and radio.
Well, the RTS award is a very prestigious one. And it's particularly gratifying that
the one
we-
that he's nominated for. I
we
know.
got no. Well, we know because the programme's nominated in both, right? They're all about me. No, I'm very happy for you.
Are you?
Yeah, you are the best presenter on this show. Everyone knows that. Everyone tells me that all the time.
Do they?
Yeah,
Boss should really stop doing that.
yeah. Yeah, you should get a pay rise.
Just keeping you on your toes. Oh, okay. All right, I'll mention that.
No, listen, I just think I'm a little bit awards out because we always get nominated, never win.
Yes.
I'd like to actually start winning stuff. I want to start winning.
We did.
Anyone
Ranvir's
we
an
won
award
was
we won an
Ranvir. Won-
International award in Monte Carlo.
Ranvir won the
people.
Golden Nymph Award, which I think was more to do with her own personal benefit.
Maybe. No, it was a lovely one, yes. That was the International Breaking News
Yes,
Award.
nice jolly for everybody. They all went down to Monaco for a few days.
And who wouldn't want to?
Exactly.
7 minutes
But
past
I thought, anyway, we're all one
big, happy family. Keep saying it. It's written
my
on the script.
My thoughts with Holly and Phil at this difficult time, who didn't get nominated by the RTS Best Daytime
Their
Program Award.
mantelpiece is
Or the
full
Trick
already.
or indeed at the Trick Awards. And also for BBC Breakfast, who also failed to make the cut.
How did you make it sound nasty at the end? Look, good luck to everybody. and
Anyway,
thank you very much.
we probably won't win. We're up against two shows I've never heard of, but they'll almost certainly not give it to us. But you know what? It's just the taking part that matters.
Isn't it just 8 minutes past 8? From Swedish teenager to becoming the face of a youth movement, Greta Thunberg has led global climate change protests, met world leaders, and even received a Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
Today, she will visit the European Parliament to discuss future laws and environmental targets. But is the 17-year-old inspiring millions or causing unnecessary alarm amongst young people? Just had a friend of mine, I mean, give you the impact of coronavirus. A friend of mine, Rick Cressman, who runs Nelk Hall in Coventry, very, very nice country hotel, great facilities and so on. Economic damage already happening. Yesterday alone, we suffered £5,000 worth of coronavirus cancellations. The economic damage is already happening.
Yeah.
Our hospitality tourism industry, it's already been battered by the government over the last few years, will be at huge risk as well. We're having to put all our staff on notice of the possibility of short-time working to reduce payroll costs, to keep our business afloat in the event the government moved towards lockdown. So this is before we even get to lockdown. You're now seeing
social distancing.
People
People don't want to be in
preemptively
groups where you might
cancelling.
get
And this
risk.
is a real issue that is going to, I think, gather momentum very fast.
But also we were saying, weren't we, when we were talking about travel insurance, you know, you won't be paid back for paying for your flight, your travel, your accommodation if the event that you're going to is cancelled. So it's going to just have such a massive knock-on effect.
It really is. A lot of people we're going to losing a lot of money here, and that's before we get to a pandemic level.
Not even at the peak. We're nowhere near the peak.
I'm talking to the chief medical officer earlier. There's no doubt from talking to him, he was trying to couch his language carefully, but there's no doubt he clearly believes we're going to have at very least a big epidemic, and it could be worse. It could be a pandemic.
Yep. I had a very special visitor to my dressing room this morning. With
I told
Lorraine.
you to keep that quiet.
Was you, wasn't it?
Who's that?
Cheeky face.
That's
Angus.
That's Angus.
Who's Angus?
Oh, Angus is my dog.
There's a whole menagerie that come in here. I mean, you got